Well, we're back where it all started. Because I'm not on the hook for Georgie for a sewer conversion. I finally bought myself some stuff that normal people have, like some ramen. So I have spicy seafood ramen again. September. So April, May, June, July, August, September. So half a year, right? I was rewatching my first vlog, and they had said, "Oh, we're staying home for a couple weeks," and I was like, "Realistically, it's gonna be more like a couple months." So I've actually changed my opinion on that. We're not. It's it's at least 6 more months. I know there's vaccine trials going on, but I mean, I understand the urgency to get people vaccinated, but I also understand there's a lot of checks and balances and like watching people and stuff that goes into making vaccines to make sure that there aren't allergic reactions and physiological reactions too, and all of that stuff. So I'm taking the point of view of Spanish flu, where it went around the world in the winter time, and then it kind of died back, and then it went around the world a second time over the next winter time. Oh, nice and spicy. Of course, we have better travel now. It took longer then because it was 100 years ago. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. So, even I'm over it. As an introvert of introverts, even I'm over this. I've had enough. I was thinking back. Everything has changed, but nothing has changed. So, I've had a whole entire garden. July seems like it's the peak here. Everything is definitely dying back. It's both whatever the bacterial wilt is that the cucumber beetles spread, and the powdery mildew that's taken out all of the melon vines other than the watermelon types, the moon and stars melon. So absolutely everything else is, except for one vine with a hammy melon that's still growing, everything else is just completely dead. Corn is dead. I don't know if I have a mole that took out one of my rhubarbs, so I'm thinking about digging them out of the ground once the cold hits and then putting them in pots because I got more fabric pots. I just went through and ordered a cart full, and by cart full I mean at least 20 plants, of different kinds of like green and yellow and red and pink gooseberries, because they're my favorite, like European gooseberries, not like Indian gooseberries or anything like that. Or I think they call some type of ground cherry gooseberry, but no, this is the one that's related to kiwis. Tasty. I've missed it. I haven't had a hot and sour soup since, oh my god, forever. So I made this sour. It was supposed to be spicy seafood, but I added some spicy pickled peppers to it. So I also ordered some white and pink and red currants. And black currants are still illegal to grow here because of whatever that ash disease is. But then the hybrids with gooseberries and black currants aren't. So I ordered 2 kinds of hybrid of gooseberry and black currant, and hopefully it has that good black currant. I'm drooling just thinking about it. And I'm gonna pot those up in fabric pots because I don't want to put them outside of my plant cage because you can't trust a deer. They're like really big bunnies that go through and eat everything. I also got some, I keep forgetting what the common English name is, but haskaps. They're kind of long, like oblong purple berries. And I think I remember eating them before. Either that or it's plums, but we'll see. So I got a couple of those bushes, and I got a couple elderberry bushes because I keep ordering elderflower syrup, and it's delicious. And maybe just a part of being painfully European, I just love elderberries. So black elderberry and white, and then one with variegated leaves. And since they grow so tall, I'm gonna put it in the line of sight between the neighbor's viewing platform of me and my yard. Speaking of my yard, I finally put in an order for a size. They're back ordered. I think it's supposed to show up perfectly on time for Halloween because apparently I'm the Grim Reaper. The whole entire yard is just mounds of different kinds of grasses out there. I mean, it's pretty nice. I like it. I chucked some of the kind of rotting melons that came off of those vines that are dying into the middle of the yard last night. So hopefully I get some like mice and bunnies there so that the hawk has something to pick at in the nice long grass. And then the snakes too. I'm hoping to encourage, because we don't really have anything poisonous here, so I'm hoping to encourage the snakes, even though hopefully I'm not chopping any up when I go through with my scythe. But we'll see how I get on top of the grass situation. My back feels a bit better, but I don't really have the energy or willpower. And I don't know if it's just this year's been hard work and I'm coming off a letdown or what. But if you feel like you need to rest, you need to rest. So it's good that the scythe is back ordered, so I get a bit of a break. What else? The tomatoes are kind of, I mean, they're still bumping out fruit, but I mean, it's good. The plants are a little bit more out of control, a little bit more disease is spreading. I keep picking the, Georgie, I keep picking the tomatoes off of them, but I'm getting kind of sick of it. I wanted a garden for a whole entire decade, and now that it's been an intense since May, well, actually since March, that's when I planted the first tomatoes and stuff inside. But that's what the winter time is for the gardener to rest. So I got some really, really good melons, though. I got a nice big hammy melon that was like this big that I'm still working on eating. You pick those when the tendril on the same node opposite the melon dries up like watermelon based on when I've been picking them, and the one that actually tasted the best. It's kind of like an orange on the inside, and it's nice and sweet once you finally let it ripen. So I'll know for next year. I still have more seeds. I think that might be the only melon I plant next year. I mean, I might as well plant the other ones. The cassava came up okay, but the ones that I actually bought seeds of instead of the ones that I saved seeds for melons I ate in San Diego didn't really turn out that well. So, maybe I guess the moon and stars melon came up, but I haven't actually had anything ripen. It looks like I only have one melon that's about this big in the garden so far. Nothing else is set from what I can. It might be hiding under the leaves, right? Because it's kind of overgrown in the strawberries there. But the cassava and the hammy are my winners. So I'm thinking those might be the only ones that I plant next year, if I even plant them. So I kind of want to be lazy next year. It was a lot of work this year. If all I have to do is cut the yard, then it'll be nice if the garden just kind of grows itself. So I've been chucking tomatoes and leaving a bunch of ground cherries, and I'll probably sprinkle some sunflower seeds around so that hopefully I just get volunteers next year, because the asparagus should come back, the posies should reseed themselves and come back, the what else did I plant? Onions, I'm just going to leave them in because they're so puny this year. I don't know what I did wrong. Rhubarb should come back, even though, like I said, I'm thinking about digging them up and replanting them. Oh, I think it's finally raining. It was so dark out earlier. I have all the lights on and it's like 9 in the morning. What else did I plant that's a perennial? The lemon balm out front should restart itself. I picked nearly most of it, and I'm soaking all of the honey in my house in it. Hopefully all of it turns into lemon honey. Oh, and stuff that normal people have. I finally bought myself some tea, so I finally have some tea to drink. What else is a perennial? Well, I'm going through and picking the beans. I've had 1 or 2 pumpkins rot in the garden too. Ones that set and the vine aborted. And hopefully they sprout as volunteers next year too. I think I have 1 or 2 cucumbers on the nearly dead vines that I think I'm going to let go to seed and resprout. I've harvested my sugar snap peas and the pole beans so far for some seeds to plant next year. I have more ripening, and I have the bush beans ripening too. I tried to go pick them a couple of weeks ago, the bush beans, and it was too early, so I just kind of ate them. But, well, so I left the rest of them, so I'll just have them a little bit later in the season. I'll just go pick them right before the first frost, and then save those seeds up for next year. Because, you know, I grow the survivors, so if they survive this year, they should be better here next year. I'm trying to think what, where, and how in my garden for what I should expect next year. The carrots don't look big yet, so I'm still leaving them in. It's been a whole entire season, and, you know, they're still not grown. Potatoes, barely doing anything. I might leave them in the fabric pots. I don't know why I'm failing potatoes. Parsnips, not really doing much. Parsley, still not going. So I'm gonna leave all of that and not till anything and see if any of it sprouts from a little root or what. Because I think according to the Farmer's Almanac, we should have a mild winter. So if that's true, it might all come back and might not need too much of a root. Anyway, I'm gonna watch my peas porridge so that it doesn't run out. It's behind the camera on the stove. Eat my spicy soup, and I got some more systemic poison for the carnivorous plants because I think it's scale, man. The fuzzy white guys on the orchids from that orchid shop that I bought my last orchids from, and then the scale all over the carnivorous plants that the ants spread earlier in the year. It's this gardener is exhausted, so I'm gonna pour the systemic stuff on for a couple weeks and hope for the best. I'm glad I have him in a separate room so that Georgie can't go pick at it. Okay, that's it for this week. Till next time.